2008-9, you started out your conversation. There were a lot of adjustments made within the company. I recall I had about 800 resumes on my desk from my friends in the industry who were either let go or laid off, or the companies closed, or whatever reason, but they were out of work. Most of them out of the United States. It was a big jolt that the industry needed to make a massive change. Those jobs were never replaced. Those jobs were never replaced. And I loved many of them, but my sympathies were with the management who let them go. Certain people become too comfortable, and then they start protecting their job rather than making a change for the company. Although everybody was trying to go overseas to reduce the costs, some of these guys were still flying business class and first class, staying in the five-star hotels just to have a visit at the vendors, but they were not adding any value, while they were out there kicking the rear end of the vendor by reducing 5 pennies on a garment and justifying their trips.
Yeah.
Those were replaced by some techies at 40,000, 50,000, 60,000, 100,000, but these guys were making $500,000 to $1 million a year. Do you feel that time is coming back again for another jolt?
No, I don't. I think it's changed. I think that if we were to take an organization that had 100 people, or back in 2008 and 2009, you would have a large research and development team. You would have a substantial design, technical design, and product development team. These positions are still important. You need people to develop product. But what did not exist back then, except for a few people, were a team that were focused on social media, a team that was focused on direct marketing, a team that was looking at e-commerce touches and capturing the analytics from those touches, the KPIs, average order value, conversion rate, page views, dwell time, drop time, bounce rate. These things didn't happen. And a company that had 100 people back then, their tech teams, and I'm not talking about infrastructure, I'm talking about tech, just a handful, less than 5. Today, a company with 100 people could have 20 in tech.
Or more.
Or more.
Yeah.
And you're using that to build the business. I think the time of maybe a company resetting and making adjustments is putting people where people need to be. I'm still big on product. I'm a product guy, like you are. But it's the data. And so the investments are now in other parts of the business, in technology and communication. That's the business.
One of the seminars I gave, we talked about old assets and new assets. All the old assets like big buildings and large inventories and all that nonsense is gone. It's now all about data, the information, the relations, the brand. And if you have that, you can build this. So it has created a lot more opportunities. I'll share something which I felt over the last 5 years has been the reason for our growth. The decision maker today for our kind of technology, although we are making patent making, grading and marker making or cutting or design related technologies, but the decision maker today is the CIO of the company, is the CTO of the company, who's looking at their infrastructure and looking at how this information relates and how it translates to the next decision maker who needs to have that information available to make their decision right.
I agree with that.